Giano, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Officially pronounced Giano.
Giano.
Yes.
So I thought, okay.
In Dutch, the way my parents name me, the way they call me is Giano.
Giano.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's okay. I can just call you G, right?
Yeah, G's fine. Everyone calls me
you
G.
For like the past, I don't know, like 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, mic check, mic check. Welcome everybody to another edition of the NoWayButUp podcast. My name is Marvel Bishop. It's a very special edition of the NoWayButUp podcast. I have someone to, my left. Sometimes I don't even know my left from my right. Somebody definitely very, very special in the art world, the fine art world, but also we've been becoming good friends.
Yeah, of course. We go way back.
Yeah. Since like when?
I would say college, definitely bachelor. I met you at FIU.
Yeah.
And until this day, actually, you're the only person I trust because you're a photographer too, right?
Okay.
That's how we met.
A lot of people don't know about me. My backstory is that I started out in photography and video and everything else too. So I remember the first things you actually told me was you were like, hey, like you are the only people that I actually like for you to take the pictures of. Yeah,
till this day, you're the only photographer I trust, or one of the few that I trust.
Yeah, I appreciate
taking my profile pictures.
Yeah, man, Mr.
A lot of respect.
Mr. Giano Currie. What's going on, man?
It's going good, man. Just came back from my first solo show, which was a big deal for me.
Good.
First time ever showing, my full body of work under one house, and I'm really proud of that fact. It's a goal I've been working towards for a long time now, and the best thing about it, I learned a lot about myself. The show told me a story about myself and kind of the way I think, just seeing everything. Because before the show, I really tried to get a visual sense of how it would look, all my work together. I even thought about printing everything and like placing it in all on one sheet of paper. But the show just taught me a lot about myself, and I'm hungry and motivated to do more.
Have you been doing like fine art print like ever since the day I've known you? Have you been doing that?
No.
Okay, so let's start there first. So I've pretty much known you since what, 2000 and...
Let's put a date on it. 2010?
2011?
I came to the U.S. in 2010, and probably we met around 2012.
We met through a mutual friend, right?
Yes, a mutual friend, correct.
Yeah. Shout out to Stephanie.
Yeah, Steph.
She's definitely
in Dubai.
She's definitely doing her damn thing.
Great things.
But yeah, like how did we come to this fine art, like just embodiment that you are in pretty much right now?
So
where did that all come from?
It's the accumulation of basically always looking. I've done a lot of things. My background is marketing, more recently advertising, and the whole reason why I picked marketing is because I kind of wanted to do film. I was really intrigued with, I always used to take photography, my first big moment was bringing a picture of a car accident to my local newspaper. Okay. And them publishing it on the second page of the Times of Suriname. And that's where kind of the seed was planted, like, oh shit, I can make money off of this. So that kind of stuck with me, but I eventually settled for marketing. I have a pretty rational brain, and I thought that was the safest route to go and still have a little bit creativity. I have no regrets of doing marketing. I met amazing people. I learned a lot about business, which I think is critical. All things I mostly learned in marketing, I'm applying to my brand now, which is helping me tremendously. I have an understanding of that. So I was always looking. I dabbled in the tech industry, the Caribbean tech industry, where I hosted hackathons. I was co-founder of a company called Pi Data. We brought a bunch of tech entrepreneurs from different Caribbean countries together by hosting a hackathon, and the winner would get a monetary value prize. So I dabbled in that for a while. And eventually, at one point, I had a job. I was working corporate. I was running the in-house photo studio. I was doing videos, corporate videos with the CEO and such. I was in a good place. You know, I was getting paid well. I was working with great people. But I wasn't fulfilled. I was kind of boxed in. And after working there for a couple of months, you know, out of college, like, you know, working man type stuff. I just wasn't feling it, man.
So what was that moment? What was that moment when you were like, you know what, fuck this shit? Like
that moment felt like rock bottom, man. I had just gotten out of a bad relationship. I wasn't feeling my job. You know, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like it felt like rock bottom.
So was it the breakup of your relationship pretty much? Like,
yeah, that put me in the grave, bro. Like that put me in the grave, and I'm happy it happened, because sometimes you gotta see darkness in order to see the light. And you know, so after that breakup, I was really searching. I was lost. Somebody advised me to get a life coach. You know, I'm not scared to talk about. We all need to talk with people.
Yeah,
I'm
therapy
a strong.
is definitely, you know, very important, especially in this day and age.
Especially in this day and age, social media. We have so much more things to worry about and think about. So somebody put me in contact with a life coach, and I think it's important because sometimes family, friends, they love you too much. You can't be honest with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes people being too close is not really
it's
the
not a
remedy
good thing.
to what you need.
To
like,
what
you
need.
definitely need maybe someone to have that unbiased opinion, or even if they're not, you know, unbiased, whatever. You know, you feel like they're not, you know, what I'm saying, unbiased. So you know that definitely helps.
So so I had the life coach. You know, started meditating more, started looking inside more. And after I kind of felt better, I hadn't found art yet. You know, I took my first photography class. You know, I was doing new things against the advice of the teacher, of a friend of mine. They were like, oh, you can save money. You know, you don't have to take it. You already have the skills. I'm like, fuck it. You know, like I've never taken a photography class. I was self-taught. YouTube taught me a lot.
Definitely.
But I'm like, I want to do this. So I took that class, and boom, boom, boom. I was really pushed. You know, not only in a commercial sense and taking pretty pictures, but experimenting with pictures, experimenting with lights, exposure. And the final project was nude photography.
Okay.
I had never done nude before. I remember calling up a friend of mine, Jose, and asking him, hey, do you have some tips? I found a nude model. The best tip he ever gave me is make your models feel comfortable. Use words that, you know, don't use words like ass, titties.
Don't use trigger words, basically.
Don't use trigger words, you know, or bad words. Like use your behind, use your chest. You know, can you turn your chest for me? So that really stuck with me till this day. And I did that shoot, and I wanted to do it different, not black and white, not more boudoir. So I used red lights for the first time. I got home, plugged in my memory card, started sifting through the pictures. And one image stuck out to me. I probably must have stared.
What image was that?
It was an image that later became a collection called Kanye's Girl. It's basically an image of just the human physique with red lights, playing a lot with light and darkness. So very, very minimalistic. You could see the bare minimum of that person, and it was in a stride, in a jump almost. And man, like I called in my roommate. I'm like, yo, what do you think of this? He liked it, you know, but in that moment, you know, I kind of saw into the future that I can build on top of this look, this brand. I could basically create a whole new world from this look. This was my look. I had never seen this before. It was really finding something I can own up to and be very proud of in an artistic way. And I call that my bingo moment, my moment of clarity. That's when I knew that my purpose was the fine arts.
It's really crazy, man, because I've never really even seen like the type of work that you do, honestly. To keep it really honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I wasn't really expecting that from you from the days of like FIU. Yeah. Cause like I've known your work and you've always been good. You've always been, you know, good at what you do. But then like to where you came from then up until now, it's like completely night and day. So one of the things I've realized about you is that you love color.
I do.
Right? You love color. When I came through to your showing earlier this week, I saw pretty much, two different styles of works that you have, a blue stage and pretty much a red stage.
Yeah.
Now the blue stage, where you were pretty much telling me, right, in there, like in the
blue room.
there, the blue room, basically, right? That was pretty much a setting of like, I guess like feeling blue, basically going through what you were going through as far as like your relationship is concerned.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. We always try to do art as far as to pretty much fulfill ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gotten to a situation with your have you ever told the person, whoever that you were dealing with, or whatever, right, that art was pretty much representative of what you pretty much went through? Or does she know?
I wouldn't say. I never said a.
And did you do it for her, or did you do it mainly for you? Because some people do it for both reasons.
Of
you
course.
Know what? They need to see this friggin' artwork. All this pain and all this suffering I'm going through. Yeah, for real. No, I'm serious. So, I did warn you about these questions.
Yeah, no, of course. And I love being confronted. This is the first time somebody's asking me that.
Yeah.
But in a way, look, I think in a way we need to feel pain in order to find the best of ourselves. And I told you before, I have no regrets. A very smart person told me once, if you break up, the breakup is bad, keep the good memories. Don't remember the bad ones, because you don't need those to carry those on. Just keep the good ones. And I understood that later. I kept the good memories. I mean, we had a great time, but I think it was a the breakup was the end. It was that's when I hit the bottom. But I feel I was already falling in a way where I was unfulfilled. I was looking for something, and that breakup pushed me over. I had hit bottom.
Okay.
I had, I didn't know what else to do.
You were feeling blue. Yeah.
I was feeling very blue, and so I did it for myself, man. Because again, coming back to the life coach, that person taught me that I should get to know myself better. And, and I went on that journey to kind of learn more about myself. And after the life coach, not immediately after, I kind of went on that track of finding myself. It was after a couple of months that I took that first photography class. And later on, I can realize okay, it was starting that journey that eventually led me to this. The art is basically, the breakup was a factor. But I think thinking about it now, it's really basically expressing myself. I have so much to say politically, on all different levels, not only politics, the way I think, the way I love, the way I feel, that the best way for me to relieve that is through art. I can be myself in art, and with not being afraid.
Yeah, one of the things you said was just pretty much experience pain when we go through those things. But you gotta understand something, which I feel sometimes the greatest arts, the greatest things that do happen are pretty much from the darkness. And
I agree.
If you would really kind of put it back and put it in hindsight, it's if it wasn't for that, we probably wouldn't even be having this interview. You probably wouldn't even be in the fine arts and be award winning.
Man, I would still be working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
again, I'm just really proud of you, honestly, because I think this is a very teachable moment. Is that even though people go through things, it's okay to use that negative energy and use it into positive reinforcement, or because you could have went either way. Now, to be very candid with me, the past relationships I had a long time ago, whatever. I mean, there were times where I had one relationship where I went into the abyss and I didn't really come out to a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I was depressed and everything else too. And there was another relationship that I had where I used that anger and I used that force basically to get in the gym and be in the best shape of my life. you know? So I think it's...
And that shows, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Nah, man. You're better than ever, man.
But I will tell you this, though. There was something in my life prior to that happened about 5-6 months ago that made me want to basically, you know, get back into shape and get back into creatives, the creative world and all that. So,
and you're doing great things, man.
I appreciate it, man. Definitely. So okay, so
and something to touch on what you just mentioned about, you know, you need darkness in order to find the light. You know, I think what's really important for people to hear is that, you know, especially in this day and age, everyone goes through this shit. Everyone has their demons or their struggles or their battles or a searching. Like, you know, the other day I was talking to a very good friend that was, you know, that's also searching. It's at least it's enlightening for somebody to hear. Yeah. It's not only you that's going through shit. You know, it's all of us. And, you know, it's just a matter of persistency. Keep on looking. Keep on, even if you're doing something you don't like and it's constantly happening, that simply means you're eliminating the shit that you now you know for a fact that's not you. So as long as you're doing that, you know, you're in a good place. And people, everyone's going through it.
And then one thing too is that one thing about the beautiful thing about art is that it's not only an expression of what you are going through, but it can be a representation of what other people are going through too.
Exactly.
So have you ever, it's a two-part question, but have you ever had anybody who came to you as far as the segment that you had with the Blue Room that basically expressed to you, hey, listen, like, you know, I kind of similarly went through something or whatever, and this kind of gave me strength, you know? Have you ever had somebody that came to you? Or was that the purpose basically for other people as well too? Or it was more of a like, hey, you know what? Like, this is something that I need.
Yeah. In terms of my art, you know, it's experiences that I've had, but a lot of my art also, at least a strong theme that I've seen throughout, you know, with the solo show was that I try to empower a lot of people, or I try to... my art sometimes changes the gender roles, you know, to empower specifically women, you know, like at least I'm a big observer of the world and I try to reflect the world through my art. And
like the boxing picture that you had.
Exactly, the boxing picture. And it's coming back to your question, I don't focus on maybe individual people. I focus on the greater whole, you know, to across the board in order to bring both sides of the island. You know, but yes, like what a common theme throughout is changing gender roles, particularly to women. You know, putting women in an empowering position that men used to have in the past, from older art, let's say Renaissance art. So that's a common theme. And the phase I'm in more recently is the showing contrast between two opposing sides. We live in a very divided world. I mean, just look at the news, you know. I mean,
everything's going on right now.
It's a very divided world, and you know, my opinion doesn't matter. What I try to do with my art is put both opinions in there to have people talk. I want both sides to appreciate it in order to start a discussion, and that's what my show ended with, was with showing that contrast.
Yeah, it's all about you know, having the art and definitely show that side of the story. There's one particular phrase that you had up there, and we definitely spoke about it beforehand, but I'm about to fucking butcher it again. I'm
it's tricky, man. That's tricky.
Yeah. So if you could say it, you know.
Yeah, of course. So basically, my most latest work, I put like a little quote in every room and every phase I was in. I had different rooms of different phases I was in as an artist, and the main room, my statement room. The quote read, art both hides and tells a story.
All right, so pause.
Yes.
So now, with that being said, has there been, or is there any pieces of art that you have basically that hides a story that you haven't really shared with anybody with your audience that you kind of want them to figure out? So are there any art pieces like that?
Yes, there definitely are.
And just give me an example.
I think the biggest example is the one behind me right now. It's called The Garden. It shows a lot of light, but it also has darkness in a good way, and darkness in a way that we all experience, and sometimes that we don't even know happens. I don't want to get into it too much, but coming back to that quote, I think it's really important, not because something looks pretty, and this is a tip for art enthusiasts or people that don't know a lot about art. Not because it's pretty means it has a pretty story or a pretty message. I think from pretty things, good things, we feel happy. But when we're sad or, when it's something devastating happens, that makes us appreciate being happy all the more.
And we should. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like you have life and you have death. From life, happiness. From death, you appreciate life even more. And I think that those are very important concepts to play with, and that's in a way reflected in this one. Like it's this, to me, the piece behind me has been, it's taken a whole life of its own. Like, I had to carry it, and it weighs very heavy on me. And thanks to some of the people that I work with,
nice.
We were able to at least visually make it available. And this piece, I really want it to be in a public space, because it has a very strong story that I won't say, but that it carries. That if you look really closely to it, and the sentimental value it has to me and some of the people in it, you'll get it.
I feel like that piece is one of the bigger pieces, basically, that really resonates with you.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like you are a type of person, basically, that is very happy-go-lucky. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I sense this real darkness with you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, what pisses you off about the art industry?
Darkness. Oh,
please,
shit.
because you know what I'm saying. Cause we always have smiles on our face or whatever. But let's get into shits a little bit.
You did your research. Look, I've been in. I love the art world. It's where I found my people. It's where I found people I most resonate with. And I think if you have that, there's always an antichrist, right?
Yep.
You need that. You need that for balance.
Yeah.
You need that to
Good
motivate
comes with evil and vice versa.
Exactly. You need that to motivate you. And I've learned a lot of lessons. And what I mean with a lot of lessons, in the art world, I'm still learning about the art world. I'm very fortunate to have some great people around me that have taught me about the art world, that have taught me about the fine arts, that have taught me about curation, the way I look at my work, the way I select my work, the way I make a series. It's very important. The Miami Art Society is one of them. Some people that have really taken me under their wing, as well as Zenith Art and Fashion Gallery. But the art world has a dark side, like Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars geek.
Okay, got it.
The light and darkness.
Yeah.
And just like any business, you have sharks. Especially for younger artists coming into the game, you're gonna have people that are really gonna sell you the world, and they're all out to get your money or to take advantage of you. And that's happened to me. Like I've had people that that I respect, but that have kind of that I respected at a time, but that I grew out of that. People that have sold my work without me knowing, without even consulting me. I have collectors out there that the connection is being held hostage. I mean, I think it's really important for an artist to grow with their collectors. If they appreciate your work, they buy into you, and I wanna show them what I've done, what I'm continuing to do.
Got you.
In order to up their value, what they bought into. When it comes to art handling, my artwork has been damaged. So for at least,
I feel like there's a lot of things in the art industry that especially new artists need to know.
Yeah, that's why
especially when it comes to print and when it comes to physical art pieces that they need to know before they even get in bed with anybody.
And look, sometimes you need to get hurt. You know, we spoke about it. We need to get hurt, you know, like, and I think that's important.
Pain is, you know, you get experience through pain.
Yeah, but just, you know, if somebody's trying to sell you the world, you know, like just think a little bit about it. Again, you need to get hurt, so it's up to you, but
also to learn from those mistakes too, so you don't have to freaking make it again.
Yeah, man. Otherwise, you can't. You get in that loop.
Shouldn't be hurt from the same thing over and over and over. Then that's just your ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
But there are people that are gonna take misadvantage of you. You know, always make it a point to stay in contact with your collectors. Make that clear to the gallery. You know, because they want to grow with you. Another thing is, like people are just gonna sell you the world, man, and you know, and leave you hanging. And to that, I would respond with, you know, never fuck over an artist because he makes art, and you know, like he can have a strong voice. So you know, this is for the people. You know, like be careful because artists do have a voice, and from pain comes art sometimes.
Are there any art pieces that you have that?
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. Not yet. And another tip is, just a small other tip is, you know, be very critical about yourself.
Okay.
When you're working on a collection, you know, sometimes a lot of research and effort needs to be put in it. I mean, some of the pieces I have, I literally had to stare at it for hours on end, select the selection process, be very critical. You know, don't show too much. Show the best of the best. Let it be good enough for you. You know, and those are some tips for you know, artists that are starting off, and just do it. You know, like the way I started is I threw out my Instagram filter of, what are people gonna think, this and that. I threw that out, and I promised myself, post a picture every day. Doesn't matter like if it gets 2 likes or 5 likes. You know, just post something that's you, that you know, and literally at 11 p.m. I used to stop everything I was doing and just fucking edit real quick and throw it on there.
Can we talk about that real quick? Like, just a lot of artists who are just crippled by social media. Like,
yes,
like
it's a topic we need to talk about.
Man, they are just, I mean, even with me, honestly,
man, it's hard.
You know, like,
because it makes money now. So you got to be careful.
Because it's like, you get to the point where you come out with a shoot and
it is crippling. Yeah,
it's just like you want it to be so personal and so perfect and it's just like a masterpiece that you can't even pretty much bring into the eyes.
Yeah,
because
I totally get what you're saying.
Keeping it with you, you know what I'm saying?
I totally get what you're saying.
A lot of artists definitely do battle with that, and like, how do you cope with that?
So, I think it's I read somewhere that Instagram is looking into getting rid of likes.
Yes, they did it in Australia already.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And a couple of countries overseas.
Think about what that's gonna do. That's gonna bring Instagram back to when it just started. When it was just
creativity.
So much more people are gonna share because it's not gonna be about the fucking likes. It's not. It's gonna be realer. So I think that's important. That's a good move to make. Brands are freaking out about it, but you know, shit.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. If more people are gonna see it, if more people are gonna post, I mean, why not? It's gonna go back to the soul of Instagram. But coming back to that, if you're an artist and you want to start off, and you know, Instagram and social media has a crippling effect. Fuck it, like fuck everyone else. Like you gotta do it for you. Like art has to be your morning coffee and your evening tea. Like you gotta love this shit, man. You know, so you have to, at least what I did, dude, I used to post every day and people used to anticipate, you know, and anticipate. And when I didn't post, they're like, yo, where's your post?
And that's the thing too, is like, because when you get to a point where like you're feeding the monster, and then it gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, the monster's hungry, man.
The monster's hungry. It's like, yo, where the fuck is my freaking pictures?
And that's a good problem to have.
It is a really good problem to have. But I just think that just the mental shackles, man, we just need to just like
it's rough.
off of ourselves.
It's rough, but
it is a process too. And that's the thing I think artists need to realize is that it is not a one size fits all, 1 day treatment. Just take a pill, boom, and then you're completely cured. Yeah. It is a process every single day. I think that the same process you have with your art, is a everyday process. It's the same thing that you have to pretty much put in your heart when it comes to posting your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like if you don't feel like you don't want to post your pictures now, your art now, whatever, just, okay, you know what? Take that inside of you, claim it, accept it, but then tomorrow's going to be a new day.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully tomorrow you can definitely, post it, and then, you'll be able to, confront your demons.
Yeah.
Here's the flip side though. Flip side is that tomorrow's never promised. So it's like, so it's like tomorrow's never promised. So it's like, are you going to wait that long?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you may not even have the opportunity to do that, and you may actually lose like your audience, or
tomorrow gets pushed back and back.
You
and
never
back.
know too. That one piece of content that you can put out there that one day that could actually reach somebody.
Yeah.
That can actually change your life. And then if you miss the boat, opportunities lost is never regained.
Yeah. But for sure, starting off, just throw out that filter. At least that's I did. Some people, like customize it to your style. But I posted every day almost for a year. Now it's slowed down because I'm doing some commercial work as well too, and like I'm thinking a lot more now about about the fine arts and the message behind it. So I'm taking my time because I'm working on bigger projects. But starting off, just throw it out there, man.
Yeah,
give
definitely.
the people what
and not
they
just
want.
With artists either, just anybody who feel like who has like a creative eye or feel like they can just put it out there.
Yeah, get in that flow of like like this is doing it, and that's for you to come back to. It's not for the beast.
No,
it's gonna consistency is gonna make your craft a lot better. And working under pressure. I'm a procrastinator. It sometimes helps.
Procrastination.
I saw a blog that it's a good thing creatively, but
definitely, man. Bro, appreciate you, man.
Nah, appreciate you, brother.
So, quick question before we do head out. It's one question I always ask everybody. Well, before I even ask that, Art Basel, anything coming up? Talk to me about your new endeavors.
Yeah.
Shameless plugs, anything. Go ahead.
So, for now, with the Miami Art Society, I'm going to Aqua Miami. It's going to be my first year at Aqua Miami. I'm really excited. With the Zenith Gallery, they're going to have a couple of events at their gallery as well. I believe the Miami Society as well.
Good.
I'm collaborating for the first time with a clothing designer. And it's going to be my first collab. One of my artworks is going to be on garments. And what I'm really excited about is a jacket.
Nice.
So that's in the works as well, too. I'm getting more details where that's going to show. But for sure, I'm going to rock that jacket. And for sure, it's going to be on my social media. And I'm working on some smaller stuff, how I can show my work during Basel on my own terms, too. So... I'm definitely excited about Basel, and definitely check out my page at Giano Currie on Instagram, and you'll get all the news.
Cool, man. So before we go, man, one question I always ask everybody: what does NoWayButUp mean to you?
NoWayButUp. If they go low,
gotta go
high,
up,
man.
That's it, right?
You go high.
That is the quickest answer I ever had. Actually, the most impactful too, honestly.
Yeah.
Bro, G. Appreciate you, man.
Nah, appreciate you, bro. I love this.
This definitely is not going to be the last one either.
Yeah.
Man, good luck with you and everything when it comes to your art and fine art and Art Basel and everything else that's coming to the future. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you
guys.
too.
NoWayButUp.